see winds up to 75 miles per hour or even greater, hail 2 inches in diameter or greater, maybe an isolated tornado, flash flooding in 3 separate areas, and even another heat wave. Good morning, I'm meteorologist Pew. Today is July 22nd, 2025, and today is a great day to live in the West Coast. We have a slight risk, we're a 2 out of 5 from Montana all the way to northern Minnesota, and we also have a marginal risk in the Midwest and a little bit in the Southeast. And what that entails is we're going to see high wind and high hail, but especially in areas that the elevation is a little bit higher and where these storms are going to initially develop. For the Southeast, you may see an isolated wind event up to 60 miles per hour. And back to the northern plains, we cannot rule out that there may be a spin-up tornado as well. For flash flooding, the Weather Prediction Center has issued 3 slight risk areas, or a 2 out of 4 in the northern plains, southeast, and southwest. Starting with the northern plains, you guys are already seeing convection this morning and into the afternoon. That's going to produce a lot of rain. But unfortunately, you guys are going to see another wave, bringing the total amount of rainfall that you may see in the next 24 hours up to 3 inches or greater. For the southeast and southwest, you guys are going to see very brief storms, but they're going to produce a lot of rainfall in a short amount of time. So for the southeast, total rainfall is about 1 to 3 inches in scattered places. And then for the southwest, you may see 1 to 2 inches in isolated areas. Looking at time frames, the second wave in the northern plains looks like it's going to start around 20Z or 3 p.m. Central Time or 2 p.m. Mountain Time. And this will last into the late afternoon, evening, and even overnight past midnight. For the southeast, it looks like storms are going to initiate around 19Z or 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And then for the southwest, also 19Z, but that's 1 p.m. Mountain Time. Looking at 500 millibars or midway through the troposphere, we can see that we have a really nice jet in the northwest, and that's going to provide good shear, which is going to tilt those updrafts and prolong those storms that do develop. Taking a deeper dive at this jet, we do have perturbations, which is basically little disturbances. So if we look at this little nick right here, we can see that the isobars are just spreading a little bit, and that's a sign that the winds may be diverging in this area, but also the winds are increasing. So you have winds diverging and you have winds going faster, which is going to promote more upper level divergence, which is basically going to promote more upward motion. Taking a look at the broader scope of things, we can see in the southeast and southwest, we don't really have any good shear, which is why the storms that do develop over there are going to be very short-lived. Looking at 300 millibars, even higher in the troposphere, we can see that we have a really broad ridge, and this jet stream is going to be the barrier between the colder air and the warmer air, and this guy is going to be responsible for the heat wave that we're going to have. Because under ridges, we're going to have a high pressure, and we can see this on the surface as well. And high pressures are clockwise flow, so it's bringing in warm, moist air from the Gulf into the central plains and into the Midwest. Heat indexes are essentially how you're going to feel. We're going to see numbers around like 105, 106 in the southern states and Midwest, and this heat wave is going to travel eastward slowly throughout the week. We have a stationary front in Montana and Wyoming. That's going to be one of the reasons for the surface slips in those areas for those storms to initially develop. But what's really interesting is that we're going to have a warm front coming from the south and a cold front coming from Canada, and they're both going to basically clash with each other, and these areas in the northern plains are going to see a lot of surface lifts. And then for the southeast, we're going to have a cold front that's going to pursue into an area that's already warm and moist, and that's why we may